I already did a brief overview of the BrickLink 25 items that I received at Brickworld. Going to do a specific video here though for the custom set. Got the nice little tote bag. We got the BrickLink 25 brick, which is kind of cool since I also got something similar in the past. And that would just be this I Love BrickLink brick badge as well, which I think was a giveaway in the goodie bag one of the years, probably 2023. So glad to have two different BrickLink brick badges for my collection now. Obviously this one's a little bit more fun with a little bit more color, I guess. So it has the blue, green, and black versus the other one just having red and black. I guess I would have preferred something a little bit more fun for the actual brick plastic instead of it being white, but I guess white is going to be a lot easier to print text on, especially for reading it. And they also handed out free lanyards with the 25th logo in blue and green. So there was a lot going on. They had a lot of fun activities. The tote bag is also just a nice little gift, great for moving around some Lego. But of course, we got this Lego set, which is the most exciting item. At first glance, you can see that there is a paper insert inside of the plastic bag, which does have the official Lego set number. It's an 18+ set, so it's meant for adult collectors. You get the BrickLink logo at the top there. It's just going to be a Ziploc bag for holding the parts, but inside the pieces are actually going to be sealed. And the only exclusive part is going to be this printed tile, which is a cool 4x4 white tile with the logo. With that being said, let's check it out. With the contents of the set more spread out, you can see that it is just two different bags of parts. So I'm going to guess this is 100, definitely less than 200 pieces. You got a little bit of a write-up here on the instructions for the background of BrickLink, the origin with Daniel Yesick, and just more information if you want to see that. There is also more information on the BrickLink site for that. The instructions are just going to be on the QR code there. It's going to be common for a lot of the BrickLink sets since they don't have physical instructions. Scanning the QR code brings you straight to the instructions, which are going to be 2 steps per page basically, I guess more 4 steps. It's probably going to be a little bit more mock caliber than a smoothed out Lego set, but still excited to build it. For the first part of the build, you build the stand for the parrot, just a combination of black bricks basically. You got a Technic axle or whatever you want to call that sticking out the top, which it will attach to. And this is also where you'll use the printed tile with the logo for the stand. So looking good. I do really like that it is a bigger piece like that. It makes it a little more substance and it makes it a little cooler. After that, we get to the head, which uses a nice little bit of slope pieces there. I really like the use of a black Technic pin for the eyes. Gives it a little shape and a little extra depth. So I think that is a great part usage. I'm liking the shape of the head overall. Next, we have the body. You can see there's a little bit of curve there for, I believe, what is going to be the feet. Pretty sure, because it does have the pin that'll attach to the base. And from here, you can attach the head. So that is what the overall shaping looks like so far. I'm interested to see how the beak sort of attaches. And this comes with another interesting use of snot pieces, actually, where they are able to reverse the sort of snot connections using the wedge plates. So that was very cool to see and is a very creative way to add more areas to attach parts to. And to continue the kind of clever ways that they're using snot on this build, they create a very nice transition to kind of blend together the back there. Being 7 plates wide is a little bit harder, I'm sure, to figure out a way to do that. So not just a normal stacking of plates, a couple of smaller plates being put together, but look at the transition from the head to the back now, looking really great. And you go to the wings, which in the instructions are built by stacking onto the actual body, but I built them separately just for the ease of transition in the video. But look at that. I feel like they might be a little too wide, or maybe the body is a little too thin and it should probably be 3 bricks. Hard to say, but for the most part, it continues the smooth shaping. A little bit of excess on the back there, where it's a little bit wider, which is nice. And basically you make the wing mirrored on the other side, of course. And it is kind of nice the way that the green and the blue kind of seamlessly blend together. The only obvious spot where it doesn't really do that is at the neckline there. It's kind of interesting to hear from the BrickLink employee that the blue and green parrot that the set is based on was not actually made by Lego. But so far, really enjoying this, like I have been saying already. And this is where my question was kind of answered on the beak, where they do kind of an interesting thing again. You know, the whole thing is a little creative. They use a bracket piece along with that sort of hook, claw, tooth sort of plate piece, I guess you'd call it. And I do really like the proportions for the beak. Fits really well with the head. And to finish off the head, like we're already kind of talking about, this is where we'll actually do a little bit of celebration. We'll add the party hat on for the 25th anniversary birthday for BrickLink by adding a very nice light blue and lime party hat. So I think now is going to be the time. We're going to attach it to the base. But before that, we have one little attachment left for the build still, which will be an additional bit of the tail, which is seen on the official Lego part. And you just slide the Technic pin down onto the base, and we have the 25th anniversary parrot set here. And before we look at the build a little bit closer, you do actually still get 5 extra pieces, so it is going to be just like a retail Lego set. I really enjoy this set. I think it is very fun to represent the company in some way like this, especially in the form of a free giveaway. It was really cool to go to Brickworld and be a part of the BrickLink 25 activities. I kind of pointed out already, I feel like the proportion on the actual build are a little bit off than the official Lego parrot, which we'll just take a little side tangent, get this in focus. But you can see that the torso or body should be the widest part. I feel like the beak is done pretty well, especially with the proportions, and the eye holes are done masterfully, which I've already brought up. You know, with the official ones, they are molded in the 2 different colors, so the transitions from one color to the other aren't going to be as, you know, segmented like on the set. But for the most part, I feel like they really captured the effect of the parrot. And it's probably even a better product technically, since they did add the additional colors like the black beak, the black eyes. But it is very faithful as a recreation, other than, I guess, you know, they could have added some extra texture to the claws, which do actually have some extra molding to them on the official part. The party hat is a fun little addition, something they probably could have left off, but was a nice little bit of extra detailing on the anniversary sort of print. There's no pom-pom on the print version though, but I guess that could be because it is slightly off screen, since I feel like the black circle for the inner black line for the rounded logo there would cut it off a little bit. But with it, cool tile print a little bit closer to the camera. It's a really great logo. Everything fits together really well, and I'm glad that they did come up with a fun logo like this. It's fun to celebrate things like BrickLink, especially at a Lego convention where buying parts is just one of the most important things for building a mock and having the creativity to display whatever you want to at one of those shows. So BrickLink is very important, and that was a big focus of the show. I don't think anybody could really deny the importance of BrickLink, and it's very cool to have something like this to, you know, recognize it in my collection. I feel like the orientation of the bird on the stand is a little weird. Obviously, they want to get the profile from the print, you know, and the logo design there to match, you know, the orientation. But I feel like it would be kind of nice to have it more angled, just so you can see more of the bird instead of it just being a flat side of it. The way that it is built, you are able to reorientate it one way, where you can have it, you know, facing the front, which is going to be a less exciting profile. But, you know, it's good to have that option still. You can't have it the other direction since it is offset on this side. You could, in theory, I don't know if you can actually. I think you can have it covering the print, which would be, you know, kind of a weird choice. Yeah, so that is a perfect, you know, sort of mirror that you can do there. But you wouldn't want to. I'm sure there is a way to do it. Maybe if you used rounded bricks in some way instead. But I do kind of think having it more at a like 45-degree angle could be kind of nice. And again, would show off more of the build when you're displaying it if you have it on a shelf in certain ways, you know. Something that might be kind of interesting to figure out, but pretty happy with it. You know, it is kind of interesting too. The tail touches the ground as well to add a little bit more support on the back, but I feel like it is pretty even with the weight on the inside of the build, so tipping shouldn't be an issue. But yeah, let me know in the comments, what do you think about this? It should be pretty easy to switch out the colors for this to make more parrots if you really wanted to. Obviously, you'd just be missing the tile, but obviously that would be a given since it is exclusive. If you want to see more LEGO videos, reviews, or haul videos, check out all the content on my channel. If you want to help out the channel even further, feel free to join as a member for different perks for that. And as always, I've been BrickRadiop, and I'll see you in the next video.